I spoke with a Secret Service agent, and this is what he had to say about what parents need to do to protect their kids online. Hey, I'm CyberFareedah. I'm an award-winning Forbes 30 Under 30 internet safety expert. And as always, my entire channel is all about how you can protect your kids online. The first thing I asked the Secret Service agent of 20 plus years, his entire background is in cybersecurity, catching internet predators and internet hackers. The first thing I asked him was, as a father who is very well versed in cybersecurity and very well versed for the dangers of the internet and what crazy things happen, would you ever use parental monitoring services like third-party parental monitoring services to make sure that your kids are safe online? His answer may surprise you because he said no, he would absolutely never use third-party parental monitoring software to make sure that his kids are falling in line with internet safety and security. And just like I said on my channel before, a lot of these parental monitoring apps have huge security vulnerabilities, issues, and risks. So it wasn't completely surprising to me that he said he would never use these apps, but I did want to ask a follow-up question. I asked him if he would use parental controls that are available within the apps that his kids are using. So maybe they're like social media apps or gaming apps, and he said, yep, that's absolutely fine. Then I asked him, would he use other parental control options that are available on like Apple or Microsoft or Google? And he said, yes, he would only stick to the big tech companies because they have proven track records for security and privacy. And it's way better to trust a big tech company with all of the security and safety resources and the big team to protect your kids' data than a random third-party company where you have no idea how they tackle the issue of data privacy and security and safety. Now, I'm going to come in to say that this is not to say that all these big companies do it perfect and they're always right, because we know that they're not. However, they have a better position to protect you than any of the other companies do. So he said no to any third-party parental monitoring apps ever. That's what he said, verbatim. He said never. He was not playing with y'all. Then on the same vein, I asked him about parental tracking devices. So maybe it's like a smartwatch that tracks kids, or it's just something that tracks kids' movement so that you can feel okay and have some peace of mind about where your kid is. He said no way, would never happen. He would never get a device like that. Then I said, well, would you empathize with a parent that's really worried about where their kids are? Is there a safer option? Perhaps maybe an Apple. And he was like, oh yes, Apple Watches are perfectly fine. They're great. Apple is the best company, tech company, when it comes to security, privacy, and safety. He would rather put his eggs in that basket than any other company. I then said, hey, would you put Samsung on that list because some people don't have Apple? And he said, yeah, that's fine. And I'm here to say that I agree with him. Apple is the top choice, and you can go to Samsung and then some other companies that have some really good track records with security and privacy, or they have a big enough team that they have prioritized security and privacy, and you can see that within the features that they have and their privacy policy and all of that. He also mentions that he prioritizes Apple as a company over any of the other companies. I mentioned that before, and he said that in the Secret Service, that is all they use, and that is what he feels the most comfortable with when it comes to protecting his kids online. I do want to insert here really quickly that all of this is about risks that you're willing to take. You have to make the decision that's best for your family, but you want to think very carefully when it comes to your kids' security, privacy, and safety. Don't just buy this technology just because it can help you. You want to make sure it's giving you a holistic view of protecting your kids online, which is what this entire channel is about. So if you're not already subscribed, subscribe. I know a lot of people have like many polarizing views about smart devices, smart speakers, Alexa, Google Nest, whatever it is. And so I wanted to know his opinion on smart speakers. And he was like, nah, we don't do smart speakers. He mentioned to me that anytime in the Secret Service, anytime they're having a conversation, they always unplug those type of things and they keep their phone out of the room because they do not want the smart speaker to be overhearing the conversations that they have. Because if it's always on, that means it's recording something. And so for privacy reasons, he's like, nope, if you're not using it, take it out. But he doesn't like to use it at all. A quick note about smart home devices: you want to make sure that you have really strong passwords, you're changing the default passwords, and you're checking the security and privacy settings that they give to you to make sure that you're turning or enabling things or disabling things as needed. Never ever just set up a smart home device or whatever it is and then just call it a day. You really want to make sure that you have good security on that. You do not want any predator or hacker talking to your kids through of the devices or gaining information about your family because you did not have good security on it. The reason why I'm saying this is because he said that internet connected devices are massively insecure and it keeps the Secret Service agents up at night. That is his words. And he does not believe that families should just put it and just leave it up there. You really want to make sure that it's secure, and I agree with him. If you're looking for safer parental controls and parental monitoring options, I recommend Apple Family Sharing, Google Family Link, Microsoft Family Safety, and Norton Family. For security purposes, the companies that I just mentioned are most likely way better than any other third-party parental monitoring app that you're using right now. Because of his extensive career in fighting off the bad guys and being a dad and being in the Secret Service, I wanted to know his thoughts on TikTok. Because the whole world is up in arms about TikTok's privacy and security and safety. What did he say? It might surprise you. He actually said that TikTok is no worse than Facebook or Instagram. If you're not a government official or you're not someone who works in like maybe critical infrastructure or something, having a TikTok is fine for the normal average person. Of course, you want to know that anytime you download these types of social media, you're always going to have some privacy issues. Doesn't always have to be the case, but you should assume that you're giving up a little bit of something to use a free app. So apparently he was completely fine with TikTok, but not fine with third-party parental monitoring apps. Food for thought. I also want to share what he said about internet safety and security, because you may not be familiar with all the steps you need to take to protect your kids from these predators and hackers that may be more tech savvy than you. And I'm saying maybe because sometimes they don't really have to be as tech savvy as we think they have to be. It's actually pretty easy to get information about you and your kids online to target your family. So let's get into some steps that he talked about to protect your family online. The biggest thing he said that parents need to know is online security and safety of your online accounts. You need to have different passwords for everything. You need to install a password manager like LastPass, 1Password. He didn't mention what password managers to install. I'm saying you should get LastPass or 1Password. You must use two-factor authentication, also known as multi-factor authentication. 2 ways of telling your account that you are the authorized person to get inside of the account. Always look at your security and safety and privacy settings to make sure that you're enabling things that can protect you and your kids online. Never, ever, ever reuse your passwords, and please make sure that you're doing these security tips on all of your online accounts, including your kids, and teach your kids the same exact thing. Because as they get older and they have their own accounts, it's imperative for them to know security and privacy. Another thing he mentioned, which a lot of people in cybersecurity talk about all the time, is to not click on links. Be very, very careful if someone messages you or you get an email or you get a phone call or you get a text message. Don't just be like click happy. Make sure that you're taking a step back and thinking about, is this actually a safe person that's sending it to me? Is it a legitimate link? Is it this? Is it that? Because you don't want to click on something and download something that compromises your kids' safety and security. The next thing he said that families do not do that they need to do more of is checking your free credit reports every year and making sure that you have identity theft monitoring or credit monitoring on your kids, because hackers are taking your kids' information and getting things in their name, and you guys don't find out until they're like 18 plus. So it's super important to keep tabs on your child's identity. Here's the thing, I'm very well aware that we have talked about so many things in this video, and every single point that he made in our conversation can go deeper into another point and deeper to more security and safety and privacy steps. I know it's difficult and it's really, really overwhelming to think about all the steps you need to take to protect your kids online. So I was thinking, okay, let's actually have like an internet safety workshop monthly, like an internet safety challenge, where we work together in a group virtually every single month, at least once a month. Most likely it might be like twice a month, to be honest, like a workshop and then a Q&A session every single month to add safety and security and privacy to your lives one by one by one by one. Because one thing that Secret Service agents said in our conversation is it doesn't actually take as much as you think to protect your kids online. Yes, it can take multiple steps to secure your kids online, but all you have to be is just a little bit more secure than your average parent. That is why I have this channel. This is why I have the safekidsmovement.com. So if you head to the safekidsmovement.com, I decided that every single person that joins, we're going to add a workshop every month where we start adding the passwords and the privacy and securing your internet connected devices and your iPads and your phones and your laptop and your internet and your online accounts and all of the steps that we talked about today. understanding exactly what does that mean and exactly how to implement it. You do not have to be tech savvy. You don't have to know more than your kid. All you have to do is follow what I say and click a couple of buttons and download some security software, and you are good to go. I want to make this process as simple and as easy as possible for you, so I can't wait for you to join us. No matter when you're seeing this video, we're still going to be ongoing. There's going to be a replay of every single class, and I'll make sure to break it down in like digestible points. So you're not having to watch like a 1 hour replay. You can watch like 5, 10, 15 minutes of something and quickly add the steps if you missed the live class. I'm so ecstatic for this, and I cannot wait to see you join the Save Kids movement, to join us for the live workshops every single month, to implement what the Secret Service agent said about protecting your kids online. Click the first link in the description, and I believe I can put like links in my video, so if I figure that out, I'll be putting a link somewhere on the screen, and you can click to join the safekidsmovement.com. It's going to be on the screen, it's going to be in the link in the description, and it's going to be in the pinned comments, because I want you to join us. I want you to go from the average parent, where a lot of hackers and predators are able to get through your security into your computer, into your child's accounts, to way above the average parent with the support of me and other people in the cybersecurity field. Can't wait to see you then, and talk soon.